Hello, Blue Justin here, still Justin, still not blue. And I reached the 4th of July, so happy Independence Day to any American watchers. Well done on kicking us out of your country. Anyway, getting on with the actual reason for the video. I thought today was going to be really quiet, maybe just watching a couple of things. I did watch a couple of things, but there's more to add, luckily. I wasn't going to order anything unless I suddenly got a surprise and I found an announcement, because I didn't think, even though I've got some birthday money to spend, I wasn't going to order anything just for the sake of it, just for the video. However, there was something that I really found I needed to order. And I don't mean wanted, I mean needed. Demand. Anyway, I'll just go through the fact. Yes, I did do the watching I expected. Watched a couple more episodes of Unforgotten, season 4. Really enjoying it. I think there's a couple more episodes to go in the season, and it's all getting quite tense now. It's really going well. I'm very involved in the plot, and I'm enjoying this season as well as the whole series. But moving on to the orders, they've just announced the fact that they are releasing the original series, Tom Baker, season 13, and that's the limited edition box sets, the big ones that take up lots of space on your shelf, even though I can't afford to use that space. I'm still collecting those. I was lucky enough to start with the first of those, and I kept it up. I didn't get the first of them on first release. I missed that. Thought it would come down in price. Of course, it sold out massively and it shot up in price. They released one because it was Tom Baker one. They thought that'll be the most popular, and if that doesn't sell, then it's just not going to make us a profit. It sold out, so luckily they've kept on putting them out, and luckily for me, even though that one shot up in price, they had some technical issues with it and re-released it because of those technical issues, not because it shot up in price. I understand it. So I got the re-release, which might have a different serial number on it, but otherwise absolutely identical. Really nice, and I think it's pretty close to the this one's season 13 as well. And yeah, so these to me are worth it, even though a lot of the serials were only shot on videotape, therefore only in SD resolution to start with. They do get an increase in colour space by going to Blu-ray, and any filmed inserts can be rescanned if the film is still available. And also, in addition to porting across practically all the amazing number of extras they designed for the DVDs, they have created new extras as well, and even done additional cleanup and added more sound options sometimes, and sometimes even special effects, etc., which is fantastic. As far as I know, the only extras they haven't copied across from the DVD is from one of the Sontaran ones, where they did a clip from In a Fix with the Sontarans from Jim Will Fix It, and for the re-release they cut, quite rightly, Jimmy Savile actually out of the clip, so it's shorter and doesn't actually have him in it or his face that come up at the end. So that's quite right. But that's, like I said, the only one as far as I know that they haven't fully ported over. There might be another one, which I'm sure someone will point out down below if I fail to remember it. Season 13 is essentially all bangers, no clangers, as I might say. It starts off with the Zygons, novelised as Loch Ness Monster. I don't know if they're going to do any updated special effects on that. It could do with it near the end, but obviously even if they do that, they will leave the originals on for us purists, so we can watch the originals even though we might still like to enjoy the updated effects other times, maybe if we're showing it to people who aren't such big fans and would just laugh at the original effects of very, very bad blue screen or plastic dinosaurs in any of the dinosaur, for example, ones, etc. So yeah, that's excellent. That was the introduction to the Zygons, and very, very good introduction it was too. Next one up was Planet of Evil, a nice little side adventure on the edge of the galaxy involving antimatter creatures. Very interesting take. Next one was Pyramids of Mars, one of the best. Actually had to rewatch that one on DVD instead of on Blu-ray because this set had obviously been released before the end of one of the new seasons where Sutekh came back. Sutekh was introduced in Pyramids of Mars, and absolutely brilliant serial, shot incidentally at a house that Mick Jagger owned at the time, I believe. The next one I think is Android Invasion. That was interesting. There was a few plot holes technically, like there were with a similar type plot with other things, something that going on in other Doctor Who's, but it was fun. It was well done. And if I'm really honest, I think the creatures that they used in it, the Kralls, were really underused. Certainly should have been brought back at some point. They had a great look, and they would have made a great creature to bring back because they had an intelligence and a plan. Next one up, the fantastic Brain of Morbius. Lots of references to the backstory of the Time Lords, because there's a rogue Time Lord in this one. You've also got the Sisters of Khan, who don't age because of some of the Time Lords mythology, and lost scientists who disappeared, who were geniuses, and other such great intros. And finishing up with the brilliant Seeds of Doom no-touch pod with a thug paid by Peter Challenge, the chap who plays Boise in Only Fools and Horses. Yeah, he's a thug in that one. And I cannot wait to get my hands on it. They haven't announced a date for it yet, but it became available to pre-order at significant cost, and I don't mind. And I obviously don't want to spend the money. I'd like to be less, but I'm not missing out. I also ordered something else, not because it was announced yesterday, I don't think, but it was the first time I noticed it for some reason or other yesterday, and that is the non-special edition release of Pete Walker's Sexploitation collection. Now, yes, I mean, you might think, oh, what's Sexploitation collection? Of course, that's something that Justin is going to get. You might be right, fair enough. But Pete Walker is quite famous later on for becoming the gentleman of British horror, with directorial work in such films as Die Screaming Marianne, that's quite famous film out there, and House of Long Shadows. But before that, he did some more sex type films, and took on actually a couple of more serious subjects in them than some of them did in the comedy aspect. Though I imagine that some of them will have comedy bits in them, because this was around the time of Confessions, and in fact, Robert Asquith from the Confessions films is in at least one of these films, as is the French girl Francois something from Mind Your Language, I believe. So that'll be interesting to see. The 4 films in this collection are For Men Only, School for Sex, Call It Carol, and Home by Midnight. And I believe School for Sex is a film that ran for a year or so continuously in London's East End or West End, I can't remember which one. What a company wouldn't give their right arm for a film that would run continuously in cinemas for a year, and getting enough people coming in to continuously watch it and stay in a cinema for a whole year today, let's face it. So yeah, I'm really interested to see that. I know that if I went for the limited edition or the special edition one that it's out now, I think it's out of print, which is why they're re-releasing it. They haven't, again, there's no date yet for that one. It's sometime near the end of the year, and I think even second hand, trying to get the special edition one now is about £80 or something like that. Though that might be over the top, because that's the Amazon marketplace price, and as we know, Amazon marketplace prices are a little bit over the top compared to sometimes like eBay and other places you might be able to get it. Finally, I think I can just about find something else to quickly bring you up to date on. This is, if you can hear anything in the background, my cat is the other side of the door and doesn't like being the other side of the door, but don't worry, she's absolutely fine. And so the last thing I'll just bring everyone up to date on is because it's a Friday, and Friday is the day that Anime Online changes its deal of the week. Now, normally I would put these in or as part of my anime series, but obviously I'm doing these mostly at the moment, and even I'm trying to get in a couple of other ones like my birthday one at the same time as doing daily vlogs for this, so trying to get in an additional anime one as well. I might manage to do before the end of the month, but I can't do it every couple of weeks or a week to make sure that that's kept up to date. However, it isn't just, it was going to, hopefully, like normal, it's usually just a release that they have as their deal of the week. So I was going to just give you the title quickly and give a précis, but no, of course not. That would be far too simple. This week they have 6. Why am I holding up 5? Because I can't. That's how many fingers I've got one hand. 6 titles available as their deals of the week. They're all $7.99. They're all Japanese language only, no dub, subtitles only. And I'm going to have to try and pronounce them, which is fun. They all end in Monogatari. So let's see, just assume that that's what I'm pronouncing if I don't get that one right. There's Koyomi Monogatari, Owari Mi Monogatari Part 1, 2 and 3, and Suki Mimo Monogatari and Zoko Owari Mi Monogatari. Yes, there we go. And in the subtitles, I'm going to have to correct the spelling of those, aren't I? Oh yeah, like I said, all $7.99, brought down from either $29.99 or $24.99, I think. So absolute bargains. And if you're getting more than one, it's even more of a bargain, because when they charge postage, as far as I remember, when they charge postage from Anime Online, they charge it per order, not per item. So even though it's £2 postage, if you order one of them, you get £2 postage. But if you ordered all 6, you'd also get £2 postage. So by the time that's, if you wanted to order all 6, it would only turn out to be about what, 20p, 23p, whatever it is, 24, 3 or 4p each postage. So £8, call it less than £8.25 per title, reduced from 25 or £30 each. So again, Anime Online Deal of the Week, fantastic value if you're interested in the particular title that they're reducing that week. And by the way, I'm very good at the moment at predicting, apart this one's okay, but I'm very good at the moment at predicting what titles they're likely to reduce, because they seem to be able to pick ones that I have either recently bought or managed to, or picked up a while ago and haven't quite got round to watching yet. But I was after for ages and ages before I actually took the plunge and bought. So yeah, they're doing that at the moment a lot. Isn't that always the way? You get the Blu-ray and then they announce the 4K the following week. Well, it does happen to me. I'm not going to go into the details of each of them, obviously, because that would just take too much time. I'm already gone on a little bit longer than I don't like these videos to go on for too long. I'm trying to keep it relatively short. But essentially, each of them, the general theme is that they're supernatural mysteries and psychological dramas, and they have quite a lot of surreal elements, and a couple of them have some romances in as well, following the various characters. So yeah, that is the 4th of July, and again, happy Independence Day to the USA. I hope you, by the time you watch this, I hope you have recovered from any hangovers, and your pets didn't get too frightened by all the fireworks that were probably going off. Okay, right, and I think that's probably it for today. I think I am expecting some arrivals tomorrow. I don't 100% know. Last time, usually HMV titles that are due for Monday turn up on Saturday at my house. But, for example, last week, none of them did. They both arrived on the Monday, which is unusual. Normally, if I get an email saying they've been sent, and if they're sent before about 4:30, then I will get them on the Saturday. If they're sent after about 5:30, 6 o'clock, I will get them on the Monday. And if they're in between those two times, then it's a 50-50 guess as to which truck they happen to be on and whether they caught the post. But in actual fact, last time the one was last week got sent out, and actually got sent out around about lunchtime, but still didn't get sent through until Monday morning, which was a bit disappointing. But anyway, so I'm expecting something hopefully through the post tomorrow, and also potentially the WoW HD item might turn up in the next couple of days. I don't know what's going to happen Sunday, but that might be a watching day, so that might be very interesting. So that I can report on that. So that is my vlog for the day in the media life of Blue Justin. And thank you again for watching, and I hope that you're really enjoying these, and please do leave a comment with any thoughts, and I will reply to anything that you say in those comments. Thank you very much indeed. Bye.